local data to get all of the worldwide data. So going to be a good stream, but let's go over a few shout outs and some quick announcements here real quick. So first I want to let all of you know we do actually have the Christmas sale going on, and let me see what is in that. It's pretty neat. It's starting today, December 22nd, and it's going to run and it's going to end on December 26th at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. So make sure you take advantage of that. We're going to be selling the Ultra Code plug for $25 off. So instead of $100, you're actually getting it for $75. And then there's some other great deals with the AnyTone 878 UV2 Plus. You'll receive a free BCS 200 speaker mic, a free protective case, and then if you purchase the plug and play package, you'll get that same free speaker mic and case, and then you'll also get a free 1-hour tech call. So $155 value there. So some awesome specials running. Don't want you guys to miss out on them. Make sure you take advantage of that, and we'll get you guys all set up. If you have any questions about that or interested in anything, give us a call, 816-532-8451, and press 2. Even if you're not wanting to buy something now, they can help you answer some questions just to help you out with your ham radio journey. Let's do some shout outs. Who do we have in the house today? Let's see. We have JW9IYN. Good morning. Let's see. N6UFZ. Good morning. Tom EI5IEB. Good morning. We have James. Oops. Went off the N8JVC. Good morning. We have a Steve, KI7ICL, I believe. Colin, K0NNK. Let's see. Stan, WB8QJZ. David, K7GPS in Montana, like the call sign. Philip, KG4LTT. Tim, KO4BTN. Awesome. Well, thank you all for attending, and Merry Christmas to all of you as well. I believe this is the last live stream before Christmas on this holiday season, so I hope you all have a wonderful time with your loved ones and your ham radio friends. That's what it's all about, right? So let's get right into it. We've got our radio here. I basically just created a real basic code plug with some local channels here on the DMR repeater, and then I threw another just receive channel in, a railroad channel, because sometimes I like to listen to the local railroad chatter here as well. And we're going to be combining that with my new Ultra Code plug, because I just got the Ultra Code plug and I haven't set it up yet, but I don't want to lose what's on my radio. So let's jump over here to the computer, and I'm going to open up the software. Now I already know what firmware and everything I have on my radio, so I'm going to open this up real quick. This is the latest version here, and you will most likely need the latest version for the Ultra Code plug. At least 2.04 should work fine with that. So if you have an older version of the radio, it'd be a good idea to update to this if you're going to be using the Ultra Code plug. That way everything integrates properly. So we have the software open, but we need to get the data off of our actual radio before we can start the process. So let's plug in our programming cable here real quick. Just like that. And we're going to turn on our radio. It's already on. So at this point, we want to click on the COM port icon, make sure we select our radio. See it pop up there. And then we're going to read from radio. So click on this read from radio icon. And I just care about the other data. If you had a lot of digital contacts, you could read from them. But this Ultra Code plug is going to come with all that anyway, so it's probably not a big deal. Awesome, there we go. So we have our channels. Now at this point, what I'm going to do is go over here to Tool and then Export. Now, what I would also recommend doing before you do this is actually just do a file, a save as, and then give this some kind of name, like, you know, my code plug and whatever date that is, just so you have a reference copy of it in case you ever want to go back to it. I'm going to skip over that today. So we're just going to go to Tool and then Export. And I'm going to do an Export All. Now, this you don't want to just throw anywhere. We're actually going to create a folder for this to go in. That way all the files don't get scattered. So we'll create a folder here on the desktop. We can do a new folder. Let's see, local code plug. Perfect. There we go. There's our local code plug folder. So we're just going to save this in here. Awesome. So we've saved that code plug and export all. Yep. So we'll export everything there. Export complete. That was fast. Now at this point we have our local code plug. Now if yours is larger, this may take a little bit longer to export that. This is just real basic for the video, but you can have a big long code plug full of lots of different channels, you know, different local repeaters from different areas, and this process will still work. So we've done that. Now at this point we can unplug our radio. Or actually, we can just leave that plugged in. And now we want to open the super or the ultra code plug, whatever you're moving to. So I'm not going to save any changes. Now what I'm going to do is click open and then go to my ultra code plug file. Obviously, I'm going to select the one for my radio, so 878. Let's find the right one. There's the 8782, that's UB2. Okay, perfect. This is the right one. So we will open it up. Probably take a minute for it to open here. Now once we have this super code plug, or in this case the ultra, the brand new ultra code plug with thousands or hundreds, I think this has like, I think over 800 talk groups. It's ridiculous, but it's awesome because you can go to like any region and really fine tune where in that region you want to talk. It is pretty neat what you can do and the people you can reach with this code plug. It's really neat. So we're going to go to Tool and once again Export. Now that we have this imported, we're going to do an Export All. Desktop. Let's see. Where did we save that last one? Okay, so we'll make a new folder for it here real quick. Ultra code plug. Awesome, we'll save that here. Save everything. Now this may take a minute to save. We'll find out here in a second. Yep, looks like it's going to take a minute to save that here, so we'll just give it time. Ultra code plug is pretty large. It's much bigger, so it is going to have to take a minute to export all that data. And now once we re-import it, we'll be faced with the same challenge. It'll take a minute to import everything. We'll just give it a minute here, and the faster computer you have here, probably the better. But this is a very basic Windows computer, and it's you know, might take a minute, but it's going to get it done here. So we'll just wait for that. In the meantime, do you guys have any questions, you know, about the process or what may work or may not work? Love to hear some questions, and we can answer them whenever we have some downtime like this. Awesome. So export complete. We've got the export done. Perfect. Now at this point, we can just minimize the CPS and go out here to our desktop. I wonder where did our other code plug go? There's the ultra code plug. Looks like we're missing our local code plug. Yeah, you always got to pay attention to where you save stuff to. Otherwise, it can be lost easily. Okay, let's take a look here. Could be inside of here. Yep, so it looks like I saved it inside of a folder here. So make sure you pay attention to where you're saving your files to. Very common mistake here. But there we go. We have both our local code plug and our ultra code plug. So first thing I'm going to do is open up the ultra code plug. Now you'll have to have some kind of either like Excel or some kind of numbers program. You could do it with Google Sheets, anything like that. I know there's some open source versions of them too, just to process this effectively CSV file. And so we're going to open the ultra code plug here. And you can see there's a whole lot of files. There's an LST file, which is what the radio reads, but it actually references all of the other files. So if you separate them, the radio won't know what to do with it. So we're going to open up the channel file, just like this. Awesome, here we go. So this has got a lot of data in it, a big file. And next, we're going to open up the channel file for our local code plug. Just the same way, just like that. Oop. So we can't have two open with the same name at the same time. Okay. So it looks like we need to open the local code plug channel file first, and then we can copy that information, and then we can go paste it into the new one. Awesome. So we have our information here. So we're going to take all of this data, and I'm just going to go all the way across to the last data field and hold down Shift and click there. So basically you want to select all the data you want to bring across, and we're just going to copy this. So I'm just going to do a Control-C. Hopefully that worked. And there you can also, I should just be able to Control-C. Yep, we've got it copied. Now at this point, I'm going to close out of this. We didn't make any changes, so we won't save it. And we'll go back to the ultra code plug, open it up. And here, we need to find some free space. So we're going to scroll down. Okay, so here's the bottom. So we have some free space. I'm going to paste our data in here, which it may not work because we have that file closed. Okay, so what you can do is actually, we'll give this another name. Channel local. There we go. So we shouldn't have a problem opening them at the same time now. Awesome. So now we can copy all this data just like before. There we go. Control-C. And we'll go over here to the ultra code plug version. Perfect. There we go. Now everything pasted over. We should have everything we need here now. Now you probably want to give these different numbers. Let's see here. Yeah, so we want to give these different numbers. I'm going to make this, I'm just going to continue the sequence that was there before. The 914. And I'm not sure why these are in here as 4001 and 2. It looks like, unless that's a standard thing that happens. So we're just going to continue the number sequence that was here. And if you have a lot of numbers to add, you can actually not copy that field, and then basically you can just have the Excel program create those numbers for you. It will actually continue the numbers if you drag that box down. So you would be able to select, like if I do a 916, and let's say I got rid of these, we should be able to, oops, . we should be able to select this, just like that. And it will continue that numbering sequence for you. So you can basically just drag all of those numbers down. Oh, hey, Ham Radio 2.0. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Awesome. Good to have you in the chat. Ham Radio 2.0, Jason over there, he's a great guy. Definitely check his channel out. Awesome. So we have our channels added. We started here with this Missouri one. So we should be set at this point. I don't know if we need... Yeah, I don't think these channels down here are really needed. So we should be able to get rid of those. Shouldn't be needed for this. So we have everything up there. Perfect. So I'm just going to get rid of these 2 rows. Maybe. We'll delete those rows. Awesome. So we have everything now. Should be set, and I'm going to move, if possible. Oops. Well, it doesn't look like it wants to move. Okay, well, we'll try it like this, see if it works. I don't know if those need to be on the bottom, those 4001 and 2, but we're just going to leave it like this for now. So we have our channels in. Now, one thing you want to check and make sure of is that that everything is, okay, so one thing you want to make sure of is that everything is the same throughout. So we want to make sure it's no different than, okay, so everything looks good. You want to make sure that there's no differences between your existing old code plug and the newer one down below. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna continue here. Okay, so at this point we should be able to save this. So we're going to go up here to Save and Save As. Now at this point, what you want to do is go. We'll give the name. We should be able to basically just replace that file. So it's a CSV. We'll just save that. It's going to ask if we want to replace it. Yep, that's fine. So we'll replace it. Perfect, there we go, we're all set. So now at this point, we can go back here and look at the zone. Now at this point, the channel file should be set. So we could import that, and we'll just have to add those few extra channels to a zone. Now you could open up and do a very similar thing with the zone file. So we'll show you how that would work real quick. So if I open up the zone, we can see I have one zone here with those channels. Let's see if it has some sort of designation. So it has some information for that zone here. So you could do the zones that way. In this case, I'm not going to bother with that. We'll just import the channels and then take care of the zones after the fact. But same process can really be applied to any of the data fields in here. Awesome. So we have our Ultra Code plug ready with our local information. So we're going to go back into CPS. And now we're going to go to Tool, Import, and we're going to import from a file list. And Desktop Ultra Code plug, here we go. This is the file we're looking for, and open. So this is going to include those old files that we had on our radio. Awesome. So do we have any questions? Let's see if we can get some questions while this is waiting here.
Cool Tiger TV asks, is there a way to fix the band error?
Yeah, perfect. That's a great question. So if there's a band error problem, basically that means the radio and the CPS are on different bands and they're not syncing up properly. So the Super Code plug is made for the latest firmware, the same band your radio should ship with. So if you import the Ultra Code Plug file, you're going to be able to export that or basically download that onto your radio with, shouldn't have any band error problems. Now if your radio is if you've changed the band plan or it's an older one and it is different, whatever that may be, there is another solution, which is basically what we're doing right here to get all that information across. So if you're not able to import it because of a band error, what you would want to do is read from your radio and then export that file, add all the information you want, re-import it, and then write it back to your radio. Because if you read from your radio first, you can always write it back to your radio. So in that case, if your other file just isn't compatible with it, just read from your radio, export the data, add any other data you want to it, and then re-import that, and you'll be set. So that's generally the way to get around band errors. Alternatively, you could just, if you're just trying code plugs, maybe try a different code plug. Awesome. Any more questions?
Eric P. asks, is the 2.04 fully compatible with the 1.23 on older radios?
Is the 2.04 compatible with 1.23? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe someone from the tech team will be able to chime in here on if that's compatible. You're always going to be able to transfer information from a code plug. Like the LST file we did here, that's going to be transferable. If it's a real old one, you might have to make some modifications to it. But you're going to be able to get your data across regardless. As for transferring the actual code plug file directly, probably not. You'll probably have to go through a process like this. Awesome, here we go. Import complete. Great, so we have our channels here. Now what we want to do is go to zone, and we have all of these different zones. So what I'm going to do is scroll down to the bottom here and create a new zone. So local, and we are going to add those channels that we had just created that came from the original radio. So parrot, there we go. Perfect, so there's all of our channels that were originally on here. So as we can see on this radio, in our zone, the zone is called local, and we have Missouri, parrot, disconnect, and worldwide, and then railroad channel 70. Those are all on the local repeater here. Awesome, so we have that. Now at this point, we can just do a write to radio. It's really that simple. You would also want to add your information to this. Like if we go here to the power on, we could have our name and call sign so it looks cool. And then W3 AMG, you want to make sure, I believe this already should be set up correctly for a channel to display the channel there. And then in digital, you obviously you want to have your radio ID in there for any of this to work, so we'll do that real quick. Just like any other code plug. So we'll add our DMR ID 3152688 and Cody W3 AMG. Awesome. Now at this point, it is really just a matter of exporting it to the radio or writing it to the radio. So make sure your radio is turned in and plugged in and turned on. Write to radio and click OK. And then you would want to click the digital contact list icon. I'm going to skip over that just for time's sake, but if you are doing this, you want to go ahead and do that. It'll write all of those digital contacts to your radio. Okay, there we go. Awesome, so that's going to write here real quick. It'll take a minute because of all the channels, but it shouldn't take too long because we don't have the digital contact list. But this is an awesome way to be able to use your radio and all that information that you build up over the years and continue to bring that with you radio to radio. Or as new things become available, like the Ultra Code Plug, you don't have to sacrifice everything you just built to take advantage of the new stuff. So definitely take advantage of this tutorial here. There we go. So at this point, we should have everything combined. Let's check it out. See if we can get a close-up of the radio here. Awesome. So we have the Skybridge zone. So there's all of our Skybridge talk groups just like normal. How cool is that? Now we can go down, we have our 50 states, we have our NOAA, we have all kinds of different areas here. That is pretty neat. So let's see if we can find the local talk group. Like if we go around, there it is, local. So there is the talk group or the zone we created, and it has all of our different channels in that were originally from our radio. And if you have multiple zones, you can easily just recreate those zones. And if you have a lot of zones and you want to bring them across, you can bring the zones across the same way we did the channels, but for simplicity's sake, most people, it's probably going to be easier to just create the zones afterwards. So there we go. How cool is that? We have everything here. Don't know if we have good enough reception to hit the parrot, but we could try it here real quick, see if it's possible. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is W3AMG. No, just a little bit out of range there, but awesome. So it worked. We have everything transferred over onto the radio with the new Ultra Code plug. The Ultra Code plug is awesome. In fact, we're actually doing some specials on it right now. You can get it for $25 off. So if you don't have an Ultra Code plug yet, make sure you pick one up. It's a great deal right now with the Christmas sale. And if you had a Super Code plug previously, give us a call. We might be able to work out a special deal for you to get you an Ultra Code plug. So anyway, give us a call, 816-532-8451 and press 2, and we'll help you out with anything. You have questions about your radio, we'd love to help you with it. So do we have any more questions? Awesome. Oh, and real quick, before we finish this, I just want to mention we are giving away a brand new 878 UV2 Plus on this stream today. So make sure, last chance to sign up. Make sure you go sign up for that real quick. Don't want you guys to forget about that. You do have to be present to win. So make sure you sign up for that, and we're going to draw the winner here after a few more questions.
Justin Parsons asks, "Hi, Newham here. Just got my call sign KFOHKV last week. Where's the best location to go to find out more about DMR?"
Awesome. Yeah, congratulations on your call sign. That is awesome. There's a lot of great resources for DMR out there. We actually have a 3-step DMR guide that's helped a lot of people. You can find that on our website, the Bridgecom's 3-step DMR guide. Beyond that, just immerse yourself in DMR. That's probably the best way to learn about it. That's what I did. I got myself a DMR radio and just started using it. Definitely, but go through that guide. You'll get set up with your DMR ID, and then you can kind of go from there. But if you have questions about, where you should go beyond that, or really what you want to do with your ham radio journey, give us a call. We'll help walk you through it, find out, what would work best for you, what path you may want to go down. So again, that number is 816-532-8451, and press 2, and we'd love to help you with it, point you in the right direction of whatever you need.
Calvin, KE8OYO asks, "Can the code plug go on the 878 as well as the 578 radios?"
Absolutely. The code plug works fine on the 578, 878. I believe it should also work on the 868 as well, as long as you have, as long as you're okay with not having the entire digital contact list. The only ones that are going to be able to do that are the 878 UV2 Plus and the 578 Plus radio. The older ones, they're not going to be able to hold the entire contact list. But everything else, you should be set.
Ben Manley asks, "Will you offer any programming for the TGIF network?"
Great question. So I don't believe we have anything for TGIF at this point, but definitely something worth looking into. We definitely look into it. And I saw a question here in the chat that's definitely worthy to bring up, asking about talk groups, if you need to transfer talk groups as well. So the channel, if you have a lot of digital local, I know a lot of people don't, the local stuff is usually analog repeaters, but if you do have a lot of digital local repeaters, you can transfer the talk groups over. Now, most likely, the Ultra Code Plug already has the talk groups you have, but if it doesn't, you can definitely transfer talk groups over through those files the same way. Once you export all, it's going to have files for absolutely everything. There are talk groups, zones, you name it, it's got it.
Steve Davis asks, can we get a quick reminder on how to update contacts, where to download? Get it on the radio. Thanks, 7-3.
Absolutely. Great question. So the digital contact list, that's something you want to update it every now and then so you can stay up to date. I usually do mine. I should probably do it more often, but I usually do it every couple months or so. You don't want, it's not something you do every day, but every month or so is probably a good rule of thumb. So what you can do is go to radioid.net. You can get it directly from the source. You just go to database and then data dumps. And then from here, you can simply download the user CSV. That's all you need. You can import that into the radio and you're all set.
Pamela N1ZKH asks, can a code plug made for the AnyTone 878 UV2 Plus be used in the AnyTone 878 UV Plus?
Great question. Absolutely. You will have to export the data and then re-import the data excuse me, into the other code plug. You won't be able to just simply transfer the RDT file, the code plug file, but you will be able to transfer the list file. So just go to Tool, Export All, take that data, and then Tool, Import All on your other radio, and you'll be all set.
And we have a winner for the giveaway. That's going to be Joshua Lawrence, K4LLG.
Awesome. K4LLG. Do we have Joshua in the house? Let's find out. Now, if Joshua isn't here, we will draw another winner, so make sure you stick around. Let's find out. We have another question in the meantime?
Carl Severance asks, how do you trim the digital contact list for the 868 radio?
That's a good question. I know some people have done that to, if they want to use the contact list with their older radio. I mean, you can cut it off at a certain point and just miss the newer contacts, or I know some people have got creative. If they don't talk in certain countries much, they've filtered it by countries. There's some creative ways you can segment that list. But at the end of the day, at some point, you're probably going to just be better off updating to something that can hold the entire thing. But there are some creative solutions to get around that.
DJ Ehrlich asks, so I really do not need to save the old Super Code Plug since the Ultra Code Plug includes the superseded plug?
Absolutely. The Ultra Code Plug, it has everything the Super Code Plug had, but now it has all of this extra. To put it in perspective, the Super Code Plug had about maybe 150 talk groups and channels. This is going to have over 800. So basically you're going to be able to, instead of just having all these different countries, you're going to have all the Canadian providences. So you'll be able to dive deeper into locations. It's really neat because you'll be able to talk to specific people from specific areas and really dive into that. The Super Code Plug was awesome, but this just takes it to a whole nother level.
Gil Davis asks, what happens when I transfer a code plug from the Trip Band Mobile to the 878 Plus? What happens to the 220 frequencies?
Great question. So you will not be able to import those 220 frequencies. So you basically would just want to delete any of the 220 frequencies because these obviously are not a tri-band radio. Do we have any sign of Joshua? Let's see. Are you here, Joshua?
Joshua Lawrence, go ahead and let us know if you're here in the chat. If I don't see a message here in a second, we're going to have to draw another winner.
We'll find out. This could be the first winner we have to draw again. Let's see. Okay, see if we have another question here in the meantime. Oh, I actually see a good question here. Is the Ultra Code plug delivered or is it a download I can gift to someone? So when you purchase the Ultra Code plug, it is a download, but you can only download it a limited number of times. So basically, you know, you're not going to be able to download it and post it for everyone to download. But if you wanted to give it to someone, you could download it, and as long as you don't go and actually download it yourself, it's emailed to you, you can just forward that email to them, and they'll be able to download it no problem. So you can absolutely give the Ultra Code plug to someone if you wanted to purchase it for them.
Okay, so we have drawn another winner, and that is going to be James Cady, N8JVC.
Awesome. James Cady, are you in the house? First time we've ever had to draw another winner. Let's find out if James is here. Let's see, do we have a James Cady in the house? Awesome, James is here. We are all set. Congratulations, James. You have just won yourself a brand new AnyTone 878 UV2 Plus radio. So congratulations to you. Hope you really enjoy it. And thank you everyone for attending. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. Get to spend some awesome time with your families, loved ones, and your ham radios. So awesome, that's it for now. If you know of anyone who could be helped by this or by what we do here at Bridgecom, definitely send them our way. We'd love to be able to help them. In fact, we even have some programs set up. So, you know, if you send some people our way, we'll even help you out. So give us a call for some more information. Again, that's 816-532-8451 and press 2. I'm Cody, W3AMG. Merry Christmas and 7-3.